Pokemon's Shrouded Fable set came out 2 years ago, and it is still widely considered one of the worst sets that have come out in years. Does that mean that there is no value in investing in this set, however? That's what we're going to take a look at here as we analyze this Persian illustration rare card, which is the top chase card of the entirety of the set, going for between $60 and $70. Does that mean you should avoid bad sets entirely, or is there still some value in investing in them if everyone else is ignoring them? Let's take a look. Over 2 years ago, Pokemon was kind of in a weird state of not huge investing just yet. It was kind of like on the fringe of it, and having a bunch of sets that really didn't do a lot for people at the time. When Temporal Forces came out, it was kind of met with some meh reaction until Twilight Masquerade came out and kind of rejuvenated the scene with the Greninja card. What followed from there, however, were what are considered two of the kind of sets, starting with Shrouded Fable on here and Stellar Crown. Shrouded Fable came out in August 2 years ago, and it's pretty funny that the top card is this Persian illustrated rare card. If you look at some of the other cards that are featured during this time, you'll see why that is, because this set is just not very good. And I think that's fairly objective. If you look at the prices here, starting from highest to lowest, and that Persian card sitting up there, it's also weird that the second priciest card is this basic Darkness Energy card, going for a little under what the Persian card is going for right now. However, don't get it confused. There are some cool cards in the set. The Duskull collection set right here is really fantastic, and the price kind of reflects that, going for over $70, give or take. And it has the Dusclops on here. I love these cards. These are some of my favorite illustration rares that have come out over the last few years, which isn't saying much because any of these cards that kind of connect to one another are really cool. But there is just something really cool about these ghost Pokemon kind of just staring at you, kind of menacing like. And that's why they do have value. And I'm actually surprised that this Dusknoir card right on here is going for about $35. That seems kind of underpriced in my opinion. And if you get the whole collection of them, which would run you something along the lines of under $150, that's certainly not a bad buy if you can get them in near mint. But if you look at the other cards, you quickly see why this set is so maligned for being so bleh. These are Pokemon from the Scarlet and Violet DLC, and I'm probably going to butcher the names. Pheasantipity, Monkey right here, and the one that I really don't like much at all, Okidogi over here, are really not Pokemon that anyone gets excited about, not just because they're so recent, but maybe just kind of ignored anyway for any variety of reasons. But if you look here, again, these illustration rare cards, the Persian, the Duskull, even this one over here, this really cool Houndoom card, which is going for a lot, and it is really cool, represent kind of the best of the set, which is to say that the special illustration rare cards, the Pheasantipity right here, Cassiopeia, and some of the other ones aren't even like regarded as being all that special, which is kind of sad if you think about it, for the actual special illustration rare cards to not be that valuable. If I look at the next set that I was referring to at the beginning on here, it's gonna be a moment to pull it up. That's Stellar Crown, which is considered probably better than Shrouded Fable, but maybe not by a lot. They're both kind of viewed as not being great sets. But if you look at the cards on this set, you do see a lot more value, and it makes obvious sense. Even though they are illustration rare cards, yeah, you're going to get huge value from any of the starter Pokemon here for Bulbasaur and Squirtle. And you also have some other nice artwork, even if the cards themselves represent Pokemon that may be not that popular. And I'm specifically talking about this Galvantula right here. This special illustration rare card is cool, but look how valuable it is. Only $20 for this card, and I think the artwork on it is really cool. This may be another one to kind of take a look at and keep in mind. But all of this is just to say that, yeah, Shrouded Fable is kind of well regarded in how bad of a set it is. If I continue looking on here, I mean, $30 for a basic Metal Energy card, hyper rare, I don't know. This Beware card over here, this illustration rare, nothing to get excited over. I think this Zoro card is nice, but I think it might be a bit overpriced here for that $30 to $50 range that it's kind of sitting at. And then you also get Pecharunt, which I've never heard anyone get excited about. This is kind of the last Pokemon that was released for the DLC. of Scarlet and Violet. So what a blah meh set featuring Pokemon that really no one got excited over, and that's why the prices reflect that. And that's why it's kind of funny that Persian of all Pokemon, who I mean, I guess I don't know, the jury's out on if that's a popular Pokemon or not. I think this card is really cool, and it doesn't even feature Giovanni, which is kind of what you would expect for a more popular card, right? But it doesn't even feature Giovanni in it for that Persian card on there. So the question I wanted to answer is this still a valuable set to invest in, even if the cards, let's be honest, kind of suck? I mean, I could count on one hand the cards I actually want. Persian, Duskull, Dusclops, Dusknoir, and I don't know, you can throw in the Houndoom there just for fun. But let's take a look at the actual value of the sealed product on this set, and whether the actual prices reflect the kind of meh of the cards themselves. And this may be surprising because this set again came out almost 2 years ago to the day. It came out in early August 2 years ago. But take a look at the actual prices of this set itself. For example, I'm looking for where the ETB is right here. So this is a specialty set, so you don't have any of the actual booster boxes. So that is something to keep in mind. Specialty sets can often be more difficult to actually obtain. And maybe that's why the prices are as surprising as they are. Taking a look at this regular ETB Elite Trainer box set on here, the price goes for over $100, falling in that $100 to $20, $130 range. That is probably fairly surprising for like what it is. Considering that you can get the more modern sets of like Chaos Rising, Perfect Order, the regular ETBs probably fall around $70 to $90. So the fact that this has even climbed over what its original MSRP was of around $50 to where it sits at today, over double that initial offering price, is pretty surprising, I think. You wouldn't expect that from a set that really no one cares about and is often in polls regarded as the worst set that's come out in the last few years. Take a look here at the Pokemon Center ETB box, and again, the surprise continues. How exactly could the Pokemon Center box be over $160? That's about the going rate of an Ascended Heroes regular ETB box. And you would way more much rather have that product, Ascended Heroes, the regular ETB, over even the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer box here for Shrouded Fable. So much of this is surprising because you would think that if all the cards suck, and they kind of do, without with a few handful of exceptions, that the actual product itself would suffer in terms of the sealed prices. But that's actually not what's happening here. So, is there some value in buying in these sealed products even when the cards are bad? And the answer is yeah, I guess there actually is. Maybe not in any huge, meaningful way, but certainly the prices are escalating even in the products that aren't that exciting themselves from the set. So if I take a look at this on here, and I'll include sealed. This is for price charting, and we'll take a look at the ETB box. Pokemon Center, it has the same relative price, about $160. Take a look at how the price has increased from when it originally debuted. I told you that it debuted for MSRP at approximately $50, $60, give or take, and it has actually climbed steadily over the last 2 years, reaching almost triple value. That's pretty surprising. And it kind of shows you that even the worst sets to invest in still will give you value over time, even in how much they're kind of disliked anyway. Because maybe people are overlooking him, maybe people don't really buy it to invest in, maybe there's more selective quantity of it. I mean, it was a specialty set after all, but whatever the case may be, it still provides actual value in something where many people are probably overlooking it. And if I go to the other release sets that came out after Shrouded Fable and Stellar Crown, you can quickly see why the feelings kind of changed, because it sparked, literally, I guess, I wasn't trying to be funny, Surging Sparks kind of does increase the actual investability of the Pokemon TCG scene, because Surging Sparks is when things really began to take off with some of the valuations of the cards. And as I've mentioned previously, Surging Sparks is the last set I actually saw in person over the last 2 years. I've literally not seen any physical product in store for 2 years since this set came out. And what preceded it were these meh sets on here, Stellar Crown and especially Shrouded Fable. And if you take a look going forward, Prismatic Evolutions comes out a year and a half ago, give or take, and things just readily exploded from there, which means that there actually is opportunity for investing in sets that kind of everyone overlooked at the time and still overlooked even now, 2 years later from when it released here, the Shrouded Fable set. Which again, it's just so funny to me because again, you look at the set, you look at the sealed cards, and there's nothing here. It's really bizarre for the actual physical, the sealed product to have almost equitable, the similar value of a card, the top chase card in it, this Persian card, right? I mean, the Persian card right here, if it's going for about $75, it's weird that the ETB for it, and I'm just kind of cycling through here. It's weird that the regular ETB for it is actually more expensive than the top chase card. Now, this is not specific to Shrouded Fable itself, as there are other sets that do this. But it's just kind of funny and kind of goes to show you that even the worst Pokemon sets still have investing value because that's kind of how crazy the market is. So there may be some wisdom to the idea that while everyone is chasing the highest highs, that maybe chasing some of the lower end sealed products may actually be fruitful in the future in terms of how much value they go into. So let's take a look at some the more modern set. We'll take a look at another set that isn't really regarded as being amazing, and that would be Journey Together right on here. And I know this is a more recent set, so the prices, the fluctuations aren't going to be as useful to kind of look at. But let's just take a look at this and we'll kind of compare it to Shrouded Fable. And if you look at the ETB box price, $135. That falls heavily in line with the exact same ETB box price point of Shrouded Fable, even though obviously Shrouded Fable is older. So let's take a look at some of the actual singles in this set and see how that compares. And the comparison doesn't kind of falls apart here because it has certainly nicer cards. I think N is very popular as a trainer. And Zoroark is a pretty cool card, and it hasn't even reached $50 yet. Articuno down here, and you get the nice Salamence on here, special illustration rare card. I think this one certainly has room to grow in valuation. But the big chase card on here is Lily's Clefairy, which may be a bit of a specialty chase card that not everyone is like super gung-ho about. But what this does show you is that this is more in line with what you would expect from sealed product prices, matching along the prices of the single cards. It's weird for the top chase card to not be exponentially higher than what the sealed product is. That's kind of what you expect from anything, right? If you're buying a box, you kind of want to, you're hoping to hit something that is worth more than the box sealed itself. That's true here of Journey Together, but as we have seen, is not true for Shrouded Fable, where the top chase card is about $70. And the sealed product for it is actually well above that. And if we take a look once more at Stellar Crown, it should kind of fall in line with what we've seen with Journey Together here. And it does, because the ETB for Stellar Crown right here is about $150, give or take. And if I sort it, if I take a look at the single card product, you'll see that, yep, the top chase cards are higher or roughly around at least that valuation, and they will climb and exceed it. That being the Bulbasaur and Squirtle illustration rare cards that you see on here. So to make a concluding statement on all of this stuff that I've kind of been going over, is there actual value in investing in the worst products, the worst sets that come out from Pokemon? And the answer is yes, even in defiance in what makes sense, that being buying a sealed product and knowing you're losing money on the actual singles themselves in the set. And another set from a while ago that makes me think of that is the XY Evolution set. Let me see if I can bring it up on here. The Evolution set kind of followed that same thinking. Let me just bring it up right here. Evolutions right here. Okay, so Evolutions is the same kind of thing. The ETBs are super duper expensive, but if I take out the sealed products, let's take a look at the highest rated cards on this set. So we're ignoring all these top ones, pre-release staff cards, anything like that, because obviously we're not concerned with that. But take a look at this right on here. The top valued card is this Mega Charizard, and it's only not only, but it's $100 card. Yet the ETB prices are five, six, seven times that. It doesn't really make any sense, is what I'm saying. The Charizard card from this is about $75 from the Pokemon Evolution set, which means, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous when you actually look at it. This is about a 7-year-old set, give or take, and the singles you can find in it aren't that valuable. Mega Blastoise on here being one of the other top chase cards, being about $50 near mint is kind of crazy. That's it's about, so give or take, 20 bucks here or there. Yet, once again, if I just put in the actual sealed products and you see it right here, these ETBs featuring Charizard and Blastoise and no specific promo card, so you're not getting some super exclusive stamped or otherwise original illustration rare card like you do in the modern sets, especially for Mega Evolutions. But these ETBs are hugely popular, very highly priced. And yeah, I understand it's Charizard and Blastoise. That's going to be very different than what you're going to see in the Shrouded Fable set, which includes such favorite Pokemon as these three, Pheasantipity, Munkidori, and Okidogi on here. So will this climb to the same levels as the Pokemon XY Evolution set? No, of course it won't. But it does kind of mirror the fact that you can actually get value in sealed product of things that exceed the actual price point of the singles that you can pull from them. Which is to say that yes, Shrouded Fable, even being the worst set that has come out in the last 2 years, maybe that's a bit subjective, but I'm guessing that's a pretty objective opinion, still has nice value and still climbs very, very well, even if the cards in them aren't that exciting. And that's why this has gone up, 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 and is at almost 3 times the actual original price valuation. And it's certainly no thanks in small part to the card I mentioned at the very beginning, this illustration rare Persian card, which, while cool, is certainly not enough to bring up the price any specific way, yet the price continues to climb all the same. So what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them with me. Reach out to me. Let's connect. Let's talk about it on why some of the sets, the valuations don't really match, especially when the set is considered as bad as Shrouded Fable is. Take care.